endeavor is now to begin, and virtue shall triumph at last. I am I, Don Quixote.
What is your concept of your project that you are making in the workshop?
Yeah. Each week, basically, we make a new composition, which can be very different. So last week, we did something very site-specific. Basically, everyone directed everyone. The whole ensemble, everyone was in front of it, and just came up with a couple of things they wanted the ensemble, the group, to do, and also a solo and a duet. And we combined all those things into one performance. This week we started basically with the idea of Don Quixote de la Mancha, just because it's about fantasy and reality and what's more interesting. But that's just the theme we work on. So maybe there won't be any trace left of Don Quixote at all on tomorrow on Sunday when we perform. But that's what we work with. And basically every day we train, which is completely different from what we make. So right now they're just warming up and they're just trying to get to know each other better and also physically warm up. And in the morning we do different kinds of stuff. We do dance, we do scenes, we do Suzuki training, which is Japanese actors training. We do improvisation-based training. This morning we did capoeira, and so all kinds of stuff. Can be anything, anything that someone of us is good in, because everyone is very different. Caroline is a dancer, Deborah is a dancer choreographer, Arya is a theater maker, actor, Sana is an actor, Yaluka is a singer, dancer, so everybody's completely different. Next week we have a costume designer who also likes to move, so he will join, and so it's a very diverse group. So we train in very diverse things, and then we try to make something together in a composition. That's basically it.
Is there any other group you know about who are making kind of similar things that you are making?
How long are you doing something?
There are more groups, I think, around the world that use viewpoints and Suzuki training to make pieces, but they're all very different. Can go from a classical text-based play to a very spectacular kind of with fireworks and native dance incorporated. So yes, there are probably different groups, but I think the difference between this group is that it's also always changing. So 1 week we have 5 people, and then next week there will be 6, and then today will be even 7 because Jeff just walks in. So it is very special because it's like we have a Korean that's completely everything's different here, like really different to what he's used to. But because we have the same kind of training, he can step in without any problem.
Use all 6.
Did you have to send a project proposal to share that one?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And did anything change comparing to the proposal right now?
Take your focus outside of yourself. Let one of
I wasn't when I wrote the proposal. I still wasn't sure who would be here. So, like up until 2 weeks before we started, I still wasn't sure who would join and which week, and so it kept changing up until I think a few days before we actually started.
Maybe you learn.
So I couldn't write any names. I could only like give the Scheldapel the list of people I would invite, but I was never sure that
Adapt it, make it
those
faster,
people will
slower.
actually be here. But they were very open and cool with that, so that wasn't any problem. And we basically, in the first week, we decided to use this space because other spaces were also taken, and it was just like, okay, what's left? Where can we go? And they gave us this space which had nothing in it, so we also had to build the floor and
Take your consciousness to your center.
take off the carpet and the wood, and so we did everything ourselves. And I didn't know that was going to happen in the first week or the second week, so
Third rib.
yeah, some things changes, but the idea stays the same. I wanted to invite people that I thought would be inspiring to work with, but also for those people that would be inspiring to work together. They don't need me. They can.
That's like how that makes
Still
you.
works.
So does it matter that it's here, like here, at Scheldapel at the
Yes,
fork?
I think that's that because we could
Maybe
go.
you move distally, but it's motivated by your
There
center.
are two things that are, I think, very important. That one is the fact that they cook for us, because we're a lot of people. So the first week we worked at my place at home, and we had to do all the groceries and all the cooking ourselves. That takes up a lot of time for a lot of people. That's one thing which makes it easier to focus on work and training and making stuff instead of also thinking about, what do I have to get for food tonight and stuff. And the other thing is that that the site is so specific, because we train here, but we always try to go into the courtyard or into a cellar or into a specific space and try to work there, which is opposite of what we usually do, I think, like in a black box or on a stage. Or it's very different. You can't ignore this space, and you can't ignore that it's old and sometimes also very dirty and cold and humid, and that all plays a role in the piece. Like now they're working just in the space, but what we did yesterday is really work of the architecture, and play with the lines and play with the light and play with the structure of the wall, and that's very different here than when you would do it and when you would train in a normal black box theater. Yeah.
Who is your audience? Are you making it for
Isolation in your words?
No, it's funny, because the audience is just the audience that will be here tomorrow. And I think last week we were a bit surprised that there were actually, I think we could only place 26 people on a chair, but there were at least 40 people, so people had to also sit in front. And there were children. There were like a lot of children, which made it actually quite difficult, because we had been practicing and rehearsing in a space, very quiet, nobody there, so you could hear everything, even when they walked away for 40, 50 meters, but when we played it was just like, okay, there are children here and they're making sounds, and so, but we're trying to make something now also, just think of the audience will be whoever wants to see it.
What kind of equipment, materials are you using for your project?
And you might see different things happening.
I think the most important thing is location. So we use the space as
I also imagine that your body is covered in eyes. And that when you move your joints,
so the space, but also
different places,
some text material,
activated
and also repertoire of each other.
parts of your
So
body.
what someone can give by movement or intention, you can grab that and you can write it down and repeat it, and then it's your material. So most of the things what we use for performing is based, or we get out improvisation. So that's how we
Okay,
collect
sharing.
material.
What is the goal that you would like to reach at the end of the workshop?
Okay, what was important for us? Well, basically for Roel and me, it was first the idea, can we pull this off? Can we get people from all over the world here to train? Can we find people who are interested to come for a week? Like for instance, Chef and Carmen. Is it possible? So that already is the fact that we're here doing this right now, and I'm talking to you here. Already shows that that is a success, and I think we are very proud of that. But
Let's switch to another.
from being together to start working together, train together, and learn different stuff, find different ways, that is really, really something that is very valuable for me. Very, very valuable. And I didn't expect it to be this cool, actually. It's a lot of fun to work here.
What do you think about the whole workshop? The whole happening?
The whole happening in terms of the entire thing, or basically just our thing?
About everybody.
Everything.
Yeah,
It's so fun. It's uncomparable to something in Holland. We don't have it like this, where you have such a huge building with everybody going, okay, take your laptop and have fun. All right, take your paintings and go on and create and do stuff. And there's dinner at 8, and who's there is there, and who's there is not there. That's something I'm not really used to working. I think it's very liberating. It's very cool for me to can do that. Sometimes I feel the atmosphere is a bit closed in terms of, okay, so now this door is closed, so that one's working there. That door is closed. It sometimes feels like everybody is on his own island. But in the end, you're all together eating, you're all together checking out, hey, I know you, I've seen you before, hey, I know him, he's going to do this and that. So in the end, there is a connection that there is in this fort here together.
Good to that an organization is so open and gives the possibility to all kinds of arts to just work here and show. And
Next 2 minutes.
it's everything, so you can get experience in someone who makes with something which makes clay, and in the other room there's someone making fear, in the other room someone making dolls, and or working with sewing machines. So they give every art an opportunity to work, and everything is possible.
What is
So it's
your spatial
that they have
relationship?
almost no limits. That's
What
good.
is